Hey everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I'm your host, Nick. As always, I'm joined by my brother, Josh.
I was gonna do something really funny with like Night Springs, and I just couldn't think of something.
You didn't have it in you.
I didn't.
Is Night Springs the best, spoof version of the Twilight Zone, or is it Scary Door?
It's the best spoof version because a lot of it's like I think it's more like original Twilight Zone because it's like not as scary as it is like makes you fucking think and wonder.
Some of them I have no idea what's going on. Like the first one I know, second one I watched. We'll talk about it when we get to it. Hey, we're doing Alan Wake, by the way, folks, in case you're wondering. But do you know where Scary Door is from when I say Scary Door?
No, not that I'm at least aware of.
I think that's Futurama. Futurama
I
is
think you might be
Scary
right.
Door.
I think you might be right. 'Cause don't they like it's like a gag for like a whole season?
I think so. I don't know. I'm very touch and go on Futurama because it's gone and come back and gone and come back and gone and come back. And every time it comes back, it's nowhere near what it was before.
It is Futurama.
Okay. I thought so. I thought so.
Yeah, and they have looks like 8 different episodes.
8 different episodes of Scary
Like,
Door?
it's referenced in it.
Oh,
So
well,
they did an episode in so it's Ahead in the Polls, I Dated a Robot, Spanish Fry, Let's Twist Again, Bender's Game, uh, it's the one that's, like, basically something in differences, but it's, like, spelled weird,
so
Benderama, and then there's a Scary Mirror episode.
so it sounds like I love that they did a Scary Mirror, spoof on Black Mirror, but
Yeah.
it sounds like it was spread out across all the seasons because Bender's Game, I
Yeah.
think, was when they were on Comedy Central doing those like movies, but
Yeah.
technically the movies were like 3 episodes spliced together. It might be time to rewatch some old Futurama. It might be that time.
Only if we can skip the episode where we watch his dog in the past try to find him. That's the saddest episode.
Jurassic Park? No, we cannot skip Jurassic Park. We have to watch
That
Jurassic
is
Park.
the only episode I request because it makes me cry every time.
What's the point of it? What's wrong? What's wrong with crying? What are you, a pussy?
Yeah, I am a pussy. I hate crying. I understand it's something I need to help understand things, but at the same time, I'm like, I just don't like the feeling of it.
I love crying. I'm a big fan of it. I'm gonna do it after this podcast.
I like weeping. I don't like crying though.
Oh man, then don't watch The Pit. I watched that a few weeks back, and that tore me up. I did all 15 episodes in one day, and it's just fucked my shit
There are
up.
3 things I know in life that I need to avoid at all cost. That episode of Futurama, radio, and my sister's keeper.
Radio is so manipulative, though. Like, I don't know. Like, radio's just goofy because I watch radio, and I know Cuba Gooden Jr. is acting. I know that he's not actually the radio guy. I know he's not. It's just like when I have a hard time watching Forrest Gump because I know Forrest Gump is not.
I get it, but at the same time, like, you have to give it to them both. Like, they're fantastic actors for a reason. Like, they played their parts so well.
Yeah, in other movies, not those movies though.
Either way, it's just sad because he goes, he goes home to his mama. His mama's dead. And he's like, "Mama? Mama?"
I forgot he did go home to his dead mom. I always just
Yeah.
think of that corny scene where they don't let him on the bus, and so he's just on the football field while it's raining and like playing a game of football. Isn't he? He runs around on the field with the football in the rain, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's corny. It
It
feels
is.
corny. I remember watching that as a kid and thinking this is really corny.
I mean, like I said, I'm not saying, like, they're the best movies ever. I just know to avoid them because I know there are scenes that, like, I know it's fake. To an extent, I know it's fake. I know, like, it's all acting, but at the same time, I'm like, it hits you at a spot, and it's like, "God damn it.
Yeah,
I know she has cancer. I know she's gonna die."
I remember the mama
Spoiler.
stuff being really sad. I don't like the scenes that are, like, deceptively manipulative, like, they're manipulative to get you to cry as opposed to, like, the actually sad scenes, like, going back to Forrest Gump. It's actually really sad at the end where he's like, "Is he like me?"
Yeah,
About his son, about
the
Forrest
way I
Jr.
put it is they're very much I don't know if you ever watched, This Is Us?
A little bit here and there.
That show, like, literally, it was just, like, one bad moment after another, like, there was never, like, a positive, like, "Hey, let's look at life in a new way." It was always like, "No, you're down for the count? Let's go ahead and kick you in the gut a couple more times, make sure you don't have any more oxygen in your lungs before we hit you with the fact that even though we know the dad's dead, we're gonna show you how he died. We're just gonna
Very,
keep teasing it every fucking episode."
very meta of you to say we're gonna take all the air out of your lungs in talking about that show. Very, very good, Josh. Very good.
Thank you.
No, and you know what? When they do eventually kill Jack and show you how he dies, I think that's done really well.
Oh, and it's like literally within like a span of like 30 seconds, she's literally just standing there going like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get us like a snack and I'll be right back." And she's picking out the snack and the doctor comes up to her and is like, "Hey, he's dead."
He's
And
dead.
she's just like,
She
What do you
I
mean?"
remember the way she eats that Snickers bar, like, she's like, "I'm hungry, I'm gonna take a bite. I don't know what the fuck this guy's fucking around about."
Well, in her defense, like literally it's a span of like 30, like you hear the crash cart and everything, and then all of a sudden the doctor's right there. It's like to some extent, it makes you wonder like how long was she actually standing there? Like was she shell shocked? But at the same time, they did it so well. It's like it happened so quickly,
See
and they knew exactly what it was. It's like holy shit, that's that's scary because it's a real thing.
see, I like it when it's done like that, where it's done more realistically, it's not like, "Oh, we've got the violins are swelling up. Oh, like, the sun just" like, something he just said is like, it closed his arc, so now you know he's about to die. Like, again, some of those are done really well, but I think it's overdone, and so when you get those, like, moments where someone's just like, "Oh, yeah, that person's fucking dead." You're like, "Oh, fucking shit."
And it definitely made you watch it. Was it the first? Was it the whole season they talked about? Or was it the first two seasons they talked about it? I think.
I don't know, the only episodes I ever watched where that episode where he dies, like, you see him dying, and then the episode where Sterling K. Brown with his biological father, I think they go down to Memphis,
Yeah,
and that was a really good one too.
it's like I said, it's definitely a show where it's like you think things are starting to get a little better, but they just keep getting worse and worse. And it's like, Jesus Christ, go, come on. I get it. Life is hard, but they make life seem like it's impossible to live. And you have to be super like, so the sister, I feel bad for her because not only is she like struggling with herself and her identity, but then on top of that, she finally is able to give birth and her kid is fucking blind.
Oh, we're talking about the big lady,
Yeah,
the bigger
the
lady,
sister.
the
Yeah.
sister, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I
Jesus Christ.
has she been in anything else since that show? I just remember people being really
uh
mean to her during, like, people the way people talked about her online was really mean at that time.
She was on one other thing that I can remember. I can't remember. It was definitely something else that was on NBC or whatever. Yeah, it was NBC was on.
NBC was weird at that time because people would be like you'd have the same person on 2 separate shows, and you're like, "Okay, what are we is this like a are you doing like an
Crossover?
extended u is this an extended unit? Is she gonna be an Avenger? Is she an Avenger? What's going on here?"
An X-Men? Ah,
I'm rewatching 30 Rock right now, and it's making me miss TV. It's making me miss good old TV.
I just stick to the to Friends at this point because
You don't have to
Andy likes it.
Josh, it's bad. It's not
I okay, I understand that. It's the I can't say Gen X because Gen X is it's the whole reason why we have Big Bang Theory.
"I'll be
Um,
there for you until we shoot each other, yeah."
First off, it's aged terribly. Secondly, it's I mean, it's you definitely look back at it and you're like, "Oh my god, how is this?" Like, it's like so like I said, the early stuff was pretty good. After I think like season 5 or 6, I can't remember which one, it starts to just like, eh.
I get the appeal of it because I like How I Met Your Mother, and How I Met Your Mother is almost exactly the same show.
Oh, I just say it's a little more modernized because it is a little more
But I
modernized.
also think How I Met Your Mother's funnier.
Oh, I agree.
But also, How I Met Your Mother hasn't aged that well either.
No,
There's
especially the early stuff.
a lot of the stuff with Barney, and I get it, he's a womanizer, but there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff they say where it's like, what are you
Well, first off,
saying? What are you
I
saying?"
just think it's very ironic that they had a gay man play a womanizer. Like that was like kudos to them for coming up with that idea.
and he did it really well. He killed it.
He
Like,
did
I
really well.
honestly, when I was watching it as a kid, because when did that show start? 2005, 2006?
2006, because I picked it up in 2012, because I think you showed me an episode, and I was like, "Oh, this is funny." You're like, "Oh, it's on Netflix." And I remember just sitting there like for a whole weekend catching up to where they were at.
Honestly, didn't know NPH was between him and that, and then him and Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. No idea the man was gay. No
Yeah,
idea.
no idea.
He was like, "Hey man, I'm really into getting ladies." And he for between early 2000s all the way up to the early 2010s, he's like, "No one's going to believe you when you tell them I'm a gay man."
Yeah, I don't- between that, so yeah, between him and then I'd say honestly Ted's character in general,
Yeah, he's just kind of an asshole. Uh
he's a little creepy at times.
they're all very manipulative of each other. Robin's just a bad friend compared to everybody else.
Honestly, I think it goes her and then Ted. Ted's a pretty shitty friend too.
Ted's a shitty friend. Ted only really does stuff when it benefits him in some way.
Hmm.
Lily is very manipulative and controls everybody. Marshall is like almost like a toxic positivity where like I'm from Minnesota. Everyone let's be nice. But then he also wants to like be a judge and have this power, which is just I don't know. It doesn't really. He wants to be a force for good, but I mean, how many judges are like forces for good in the world? I mean, there are some good judges out in the world right now, but
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Barney. I mean, do I really have to go over Barney? Do we really have to talk about Barney?
No, honestly, sadly, I think Barney's like the most like lovable person of the group because at least he's honest with himself to some extent.
Yeah, and it's funny because he has the realization that he's not womanizing anymore after he has a daughter. And then I think in the How I Met Your Father spinoff, they bring him back, and he's a womanizer.
He's trying not to be, but yeah, he still kind of is because he like bumps into him, or yeah, he bumps into um, Hillary Duff,
Hmm.
and he's like, he has to like read from like a little script that he wrote to like not engage in it.
Was that show any good or was it bad?
Andy watched it. She said it was pretty good. I have not watched it, not from a lack of not wanting to, but from a lack of like, what's the point?
Yeah, it's just gonna get canceled anyway.
I mean, it's on Hulu, and I don't think they've made it past season two.
No, Hulu lately has been pissing me off the last few years. They did that show, I think it was called Reboot, which
Mhm.
was had Johnny Knoxville, Keegan Michael Key, uh, what's her name? Voices Cheryl and Archer.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name.
I'm blanking on her name right now, but she was in that as well. Just really fun. It was almost like it was a it felt like a new 30 Rock because it was a lot of the similar writing. But it was from the folks who did Modern Family, I believe. And it was really good, and they canceled it after one season. But hey, we're a gaming podcast. We've been going on about TV and sadness and scary doors and Jurassic Park. We're gaming. We're gonna get into the gaming. Today it's the first day of book club for Alan Wake. We're talking up to chapter one, the end of episode one, and we're gonna talk some news. A lot of news broke while we were gone, so we're gonna cover that, and then we're gonna talk about some other games we were playing. Not as many other games that we've been playing because Alan Wake's taking up a lot of time, but we got a little bit. Oh, we got a meme. I always forget
We
to
always have
mention
a
the meme.
meme.
We always have the meme, but I'm starting to mention it up top. And so let's do some chores real quick, and then we'll get into the meat and potato of the episode. Smashing Game Time is wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, and YouTube proper, where you can see our wonderful faces. Go check them out there. We whenever this is the part of the show where and when everyone asks you to leave a review, give them stars, and those do help podcast out. But, it feeds into the algorithm, and at this point, all we have to say is fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. Word of mouth is king here. We do not fuck with the algorithm. Uh, all my homies hate the algorithm. Ain't that right, Josh?
Oh, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
So ain't that the truth. So be a human and use your human words to talk about human things. That's it. That's it. we have the Smashing Game Time website. You can go check that out, but I'll also mention that later on. Josh, what have you been up to?
Oh boy, so it's been a hot minute, but I've had a lot of time to do some reviews and play Alan Wake. So uh, we'll bring Alan Wake up here. We'll talk about it later. But of course, I've been playing it. Uh, as of this episode, I've actually already beaten it. Nick's shaking his head because he's not as far as I am. But in my defense, I had a sleeping child for a good chunk of the weekend, and he's had two sick kids. So I don't understand it, but I understand at the same time. So beyond that, though, I had two wonderful reviews I had come up. Both are available on Game Chronicles. Uh, First one being Kyborg. I did a preview of it on Steam back in late August, early September. Um, at the time, it was just two or three. I think it was three different missions. They called it missions, but basically, it was like three different arenas, and they just had you fight everybody. It was okay. There's something really unique about it. They came back around. They finally had a full release of it. It's a really cool beat 'em up roguelike.
See, I knew this sounded familiar. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, where have I heard this before? It's you. You had a preview of it.
yeah. So they finally had the release come out. I got the PS5 version this time to go ahead and test it out. Really good. I mean, obviously you can tell that it's not quadruple A. Uh, but for what it is, it's really good. Basically, you are Morgan. You are in this prison called the Tower. And the whole thing is you're basically a pay per view event. You are fighting your way up the tower to basically free yourself. Once you make it to the top, there is this little vehicle waiting for you. You basically get on the vehicle and then you can leave. You're let go. But you're serving it's a very specific number. I'm pretty sure it's a 107-year sentence. Um,
Where's the camera at on this? 'Cause I'm watching a video right now and I've seen it. It's like right behind you, but then also it's a beat 'em up. Like, where is the camera behind?
the
Where is it?
the camera is it's a third person, but it's like kind of like an old oh
Too human. It's giving me too human vibes where like the
yes,
camera
where you
could
can
be
move
right
it
behind
around.
you when you're hard aiming, but when you're doing melee, it's kind of like a
Yes,
free roam camera.
yeah, you can move it around with the
That's
right stick. Yeah,
and the camera's like pulled back a little bit when you're
hmm
meleeing.
yeah. Uh, so the really cool thing is, so first off, it's like I said, it's a roguelike. So every time you climb the tower, everything is different. Now you might get the same areas as far as that goes, which is fine. But as far as like what you fight, what you get, what's available as far as weapons and stuff, everything is different every time, which is really cool. Uh, but basically, you're climbing up the tower. It makes you do it. I think it had up to seven difficulty levels, and each time you increase the difficulty level and go up, you get a new piece of the story of what's going on, and you find out. Like the first time you do it is just you're climbing up the tower. There's not really you just like you're there to fight. Second time you go up, it's like okay, how's your head injury doing? And you're like, what head injury? Because like you have two people guiding you throughout this whole time. You have the guide. She basically just gives you like tips and tricks and tries to like give you like information as you're climbing. And then you have I think his name is Kovac. He is like the MC.
Is this like so I'm seeing Kovac right now. He looks like just a mess of like skin. He looks like a skin
Yeah.
bag almost.
He basically is just a fat skin bag.
Is it all humans? Like, is this a space prison?
No, it's more like a cyberpunk.
Okay.
Uh, so like the first floor is kind of like I call it like gangsters, like punks type deals, and then you get like the occasional like biohazard guys, or you got like a random chainsaw guy. Like they're very obscure, but it's like you'll see like when you play it, you start to see what's going on. And then you also get like agents who are like kind of like super futuristic military. Then you get to level two, and that's like the experimental area where you start to see like disfigured human shapes and creatures that have like different abilities and stuff. And then level three is like a mixture of all of them with some additional new ones in there.
This game also looks very gray and brown. It was like a 360 era game, which is not a bad thing necessarily.
No, it's definitely definitely, missing a few shades, but really, all in all, it was actually a lot of fun because on top of that, not only did you have that climbing the tower and then, unlocking new pieces of story every time you climbed it, but you also had the arena, which is you just walk in and certain parts of this arena open up and different perks happen at different times and you fight different enemies. Like it's like, okay, if you don't like the aspect of climbing the tower and you want something a little more difficult and a little more um stable, you go for the arena.
I mean, if I'm sitting here just trying to decide between this or Hades 2, which one are you telling people?
I say I haven't played Hades 2, so I can't. I mean, if we were going Hades, I'd say Hades just because it's a lot more familiar and there's probably a lot more to do with it.
This looks a little more polished. I just
Kyber,
as you were describing it, like the going up the multiple levels in the tower and then having to complete the tower multiple times, getting more story each time. It was yeah, the way you're describing it, it sounds very much like a futuristic Hades.
it is, and but I'd say Hades is just a little more polished and like if you're a little more familiar with everything that's going on and happening to an extent. So I would say Hades just because of that, but for an indie developer, really good.
Good. Well, I'm glad you like it. What else you got going on?
I also got to review Oblivion Remastered on the PS5.
You son of a bitch. You hopped on that as soon as it was available.
Oh, I mean, for those who listened last time we aired, yes, I literally got the email as we were talking, and I said, "Hold on, Nick, I have to say yes."
Hold on, I need to
And
I need to go get this. I need to go get this code.
I will say right now, just graphics alone, first off, really beautiful. Although from playing Oblivion and Skyrim for so long, and so many
Mhm.
hours put into it, it really hurt my eyes to adjust to it.
To how good it looks or to how rough it looks?
How good it looks,
Oh, okay.
like, okay, you know how Skyrim and Oblivion actually, honestly, all the Bethesdas from prior at this point, not even including Fallout 76, I'm saying everything else. You know how, like, rugged and sometimes how, like, the frames dropped, but they weren't, like, literally they weren't, like, 60 frames per second, they were probably, like, 45, 50, and it was, like, a little more slower.
Yeah.
It's so buttery smooth, it hurt my eye.
Didn't the game that opening weekend didn't it have like some kind of graphics glitch or something that made everybody look like super fucking gleamed over or kind of like a fucking like glazed over?
Yeah, I thankfully didn't have to worry about that, but yeah, I heard about it. Um, but I will tell you this, all it really is, and I say this in the nicest way, not like in a I did not enjoying it or it was a terrible review. It's a polished turd.
Well, yeah, these games, like they're Bethesda games. They're rough. They were
Well,
born rough.
they purposely kept a lot of the bugs from the original, which to some extent I'm like, that's really cool that you stayed faithful to it, but at the same time, you moved it to Unreal Engine 5. If you're gonna do that, at least make it an option where they can select it. If not, let us actually play normally. That was my one like the thing I'm like, I get that you just moved it all to a new engine, but I would think you're gonna test it out anyway. Why wouldn't you just go ahead and fix some of the easier bugs? Like I'm not saying like the big bugs, like I could care less because they're so rare, but the one bug that kept I mean, everybody that I've seen talk about were like, hey, do you want to level up your shit fast? This is what you do, and it's worked since the original Oblivion. Hey, do you want to finish the game as a speedrunner? Well, then you just go to this certain door and you do this certain task, and you'll teleport basically all the way to the end. Just it's stuff like that where it's like that's cool that you kept it and stayed faithful to it, but god damn it, guys, you could have put some effort into it and maybe just press of a button.
Sounds like the leveling scales are still in it too, like everything leveling up with you, which was always a pain in the ass.
And it makes me afraid to do the hard difficulty.
I remember I remember leveling up a lot and going back to fight the rats in the original sewer you come out of.
Hmm.
And it's just it's like these rats should not be even starting the game. a rat was just really hard to kill.
Honestly, the rats weren't a problem for me because I'm an archer. The goblins, especially the shaman goblin.
Yeah, that first goblin as you're getting out.
Well, it's more like towards the middle because the first one's just a regular goblin. The shaman goblin shows up when you get to like the big area where they have the rats trapped behind a gate,
Mhm.
and they're
It's the
like,
area
"There's
right
two
before
fire
you're
pits."
outside, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, I've never beaten that game, but I remember that part like the back of my hand. And immediately I would beat that part and go into I would escape prison and go straight back to prison basically and fight in the arena, which is basically a
Back to the
prison.
prison. You don't have to go back to the prison to fight. You can just go straight to the arena.
No, but like the way arenas are set up in fantasy worlds and like in the
Oh
old
yeah, technically
times,
you were a
the,
gladiator and
you're
you would need to be a prisoner. Yeah,
you're basically a prison. You're basically a prisoner.
I didn't realize this playing it, or because I've been obviously I was reviewing and I'm also like coming across a bunch of stuff because they found my search history and like, oh, Josh is playing Oblivion. Let's just chock full his videos full of that shit.
Thank God that's
Did
all
you know?
they found in your search history
Yeah, right. Uh, did you know you can get the skeleton key in Oblivion?
to open every door.
Well, it's the lockpick that never breaks.
No, I didn't. And that lockpick game's a pain in the ass. It's still the same.
Oh yes, it is the biggest pain in the ass.
Because remind me, because you're hitting the three. I'm glad they changed it for everything. By the way, I'm glad it's a different lockpick game. But in this,
Uh,
it's you have to uh, you have to hit the different latches that are latched, and you're supposed to do it in a specific order.
uh, not only a specific order, but you have to hit it in a certain when you hit it up, it varies on how fast it adjusts,
Mm.
and you have to hit it when it's doing a certain adjustment for it to actually lock in place.
And those,
And then when you do that, if you're lucky and get to the next one and do it, if you do it correctly, you don't have to worry about it. But if you mess up, sometimes it makes that first pin drop back down.
and then it also you break a lot of lockpicks doing that mini game.
But I also didn't realize this from the original. You can actually find a guy outside the Imperial City Wall who always carries lockpicks, and you buy them from him.
See, I didn't know that. That would have
I
made
didn't know that either.
that would have saved 2007 Nick a lot of pain, or 2006, whenever this game came out.
2006.
Damn, it's been 20 years. Fuck, we're old. We're fucking
Yeah.
old. We're fucking old.
But
The
it's been great. Like I literally have been enjoying every moment of it, uh, except for maybe a few frustrating parts of like, oh, I'm in the arena. This should be easy. No, it's harder than I remember it being, and I'm doing normal difficulty.
anything else
I do
about
love the magic. I do love the magic in this one way more than Skyrim.
yeah,
It's so much better.
the magic was always more fun.
And it's more diverse. Where I feel like Skyrim, it forced you had to equip it to use it. Where this, like, yeah, you were forced to equip it as well. But you could be fighting somebody with a bow and arrow and then press right bumper and use your healing or use your fire, whatever you have on. It's like, oh my god. Like that alone right there makes it 10 times worth it. Where in Skyrim, I felt like they forced you to have one equipped if you wanted to use it.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'd rather hotkey across my powers or across my abilities and then just flip back and forth that way.
Yes.
Have you been doing the dark hand?
That is next on my list. I'm trying to do each thing one at a time. I just finished uh, the arena. Now I'm working on. So I was gonna start doing the dark hand, but I forgot how to do it. So I thought it was you have to murder somebody and they have to like basically come to you. But I think there's a way you can actually just go straight to them and let them in. Because I think if you go to their door, they won't even let you in without having murdered somebody.
Because I remember getting like the notice a lot of times if you killed someone in the arena, you got noticed that way a lot. Or maybe one of the fights, the person wants you to throw the fight, but you can poison them. I'm forgetting. It's been 20
You're right.
years.
You're right. I remember that. Well, I don't remember that. I know that part, but I don't remember them inviting you if you killed somebody in the arena.
I think you had to it had to be like a deceptive kill.
You might be right on that part. The only thing I know for sure that I absolutely avoid with like the plague, even though people are like, "Oh, it's so cool," the fucking vampires visiting you in your sleep.
Yeah, that sucks. I never enjoyed being a vampire. Does the Black Hand stuff get like, is there a vampiric, like, overlap there? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, there is because like one of the veterans is a vampire, and you can actually go to him and be like, "Dude, can you like bite me in the neck and make me?" He's like, are you sure?"
"Bro, make me a
And then I think
vampire."
and then I think you actually end up having to kill him because I think if I remember correctly in this one, it is there's a betrayal in some way, and you have to like murder half the people from the Dark Hand.
Yeah, it gets pinned on you, and the leader's like, "Alright, you gotta kill everybody." And then you kill everybody. I don't remember if that's a single mission or if that's like, a, "Okay, go here, get this guy. Go here, get this guy."
Yeah, I think it was over several because eventually you find out that the leader's the traitor. I think.
Yeah, and then you kill him, and then you become the leader of the Dark Hand. But at the same time, it's like, "But who am I leading?"
I just murdered everybody.
"You're the leader of the Dark Hand." "Cool. I have no one to boss around."
Yeah, I think Skyrim did the quest a little bit better because a lot of it's like, wait, what was this for again?
Didn't
Why?
that
Why?
didn't that one end with you being a werewolf, though, and kinda slaughtering half of the Dark Hand? Or were the werewolves their own things? I don't know.
The werewolves is if you went to the champions thing. I forget what their guild was called.
Now I'm blanking too. It's been I played way more Oblivion than I did Skyrim because Skyrim came out around the time I was in college, and I just didn't have time.
There's honestly just like people are like, "Oh, Skyrim's so great." Yeah, well, guess what? They released it like 7 times, and I've played it so many times, and I don't remember half of it.
I just
There's too
remember
much to do.
I remember getting to that first ice troll and never being able to beat him and then never touching it. I don't think I beat Oblivion either, but I enjoyed more of Oblivion. I enjoyed doing more side quests in Oblivion.
I just enjoy going through the gates and fucking murdering everything in sight.
But you know what else I like about these Elder Scroll games? You don't, or at least I think you don't have to. You don't have to worry about weapon damage, like integrity, like
No,
a
you do.
weapon.
And in Oblivion, you do.
No, I misremembered.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the nice thing though is they do give you the hammer to repair it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
that's at least nice.
I don't know
But
how I forgot that.
it's not, I mean, right now it's not a big deal. I've used the same bow for an eternity at this point, and I haven't had to buy arrows. So that's always a plus.
I've been playing a lot of Minecraft, so I have like weapon integrity on my mind almost all the time now.
As much as I enjoy weapon integrity, like for like early level, like Bronze Age shit, I'm like, yeah, okay, go ahead. But once you start getting into like the for Oblivion, for example, once you start getting into the glass armor and shit, like at that point, I'm like, dude, this shit's like there shouldn't be any.
I don't want the yeah, I'm tired of the realism. I just want like, hey, did I find a cool fucking sword? Cool. Like, is it any good? No. Okay. Is it gonna break? No. Perfect. I don't give a shit. This sword looks cool. It's the Skyrim problem. The armor on the box is the coolest armor. In game, it is fucking useless.
It's like it was more than useless. Like even once you get it, you end up finding something way better later, like within like 5 minutes. Like once you kill the first, I call him like mummy, but the first like Nordic burial that you get to, he ends up having way better armor than you. Like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna put this on.
I mm, I was gonna say the only thing that Skyrim has over Oblivion is its better soundtrack. For the king, for the king.
Yeah, it's true. Pause for 1 second. I gotta go get Andy and help.
Okay.
Give me like 5 minutes. Ah, shit.
24 hours
No,
it's funny. We had to stop and boot the episode back up just now. And so anyone watching this live is going to see us wearing one outfit and then all of a sudden see us wearing another outfit, Josh.
Okay, that's. I mean, I'm looking to all. I'm like, hey guys, we actually ended up doing this episode 2 overnights because fatherhood sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just fatherhood happened.
Fatherhood is beautiful, but fatherhood just happens. It's not, it doesn't suck. Yeah, it has its moments. But anything else about Oblivion, Josh?
No, I think last night I said all I could say before I finally mustered the strength to be like, oh, hold on a second, and that turned into Me staying up until almost midnight. So
Did you sneak did you sneak any more Oblivion time in between being a father?
no,
Hmm.
the
Uh,
closest thing I've gotten to Oblivion since talking last was watching a couple more videos on TikTok.
hmm. See, I have the nasty habit. So I have Oblivion downloaded on my Game Pass,
Hmm.
but it's been sitting there since I downloaded it, along with Avowed, Atomfall, Clair Obscur.
Oh, and see, I want Clair Obscur so bad, but I'm like, I don't want to do it until I have physical copy is available, and it's gonna be a hot minute before it becomes available.
I think that the game's done well enough starting out that they will get a physical release.
They do have a physical release.
Oh, they do? I didn't you made it sound
They
like they
s-
didn't.
no, they do. They've sold out of every single copy worldwide, and if you try to buy one, people are being real assholey and selling it for like 2.99, 3.99.
God damn, I hate scalpers, man. They ruin
Yeah.
everything.
Like, I don't care. I'll wait. I just want a physical copy of it. I mean, it looks so good.
Well, that's shitty that yeah, it's shitty that people are holding on to that. They're not giving that stuff up. And it's just crazy. People are buying it all up.
I mean, for this, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt and just assume because they already had a low, they sent out a low number anyway, not thinking it was gonna be this successful. I'll give most people benefit of the doubt and assume like because it's technically now a first edition copy, they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get the game no matter what. I might as well just go around, turn around, and sell it to somebody who actually might one enjoy it more and have first edition, and two make a little money on it. Like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're not scalpers. But yeah, fuck scalpers.
Well, the fact that they're already being resold makes me feel like, Josh, they might be scalpers.
You know what, Nick? I'm trying to give mankind the benefit of the doubt here, so let me live in my optimistic world.
You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta give them the doubt. Any other games on your radar there, Josh?
No, other than Alan Wake right now, currently, no.
Yeah, so I'm also playing Alan Wake. I played a little more Blueprints. I haven't gone back in a little bit just because I've come to a realization the game doesn't respect your time. It just kind of it's like, fuck you. Like it's the I'm struggling with the words here, and I got a cat attacking my lap. But it's the roguelike uh side of the game where it's like you really just have to hope that the game gives you the rooms that you need when you need them. Otherwise, you can know where everything is and where to go for the puzzles. It don't mean shit.
Yeah,
So
makes it.
that's just kind of a kick in the nuts. And I'm just like, I would love to see the end of it, but I might just watch it on YouTube. I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to see room 46. Maybe I don't give a shit what's in room 46.
It just
Fuck my,
took too long to get to the point.
fuck my rich uncle. Fuck him. And I don't mean I'm gonna fuck my rich uncle. He's dead. I mean, fuck him. He's an asshole.
I mean, rigor mortis is set in, so I
You
just throwing
you
it
you
out
can have
there.
you can have your way. You can go your own way. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna go back to it. The
Yeah,
other
I wouldn't.
major game I'm playing, I'm working on a review right now for uh, Game Chronicle, which might be my last before the site goes down, which is kind of sad. End of an era.
Sad.
Here, 4 years later, here we are. The game's called War Rats: The Rat 'Em Up. This is uh, you play as a little rat. Josh, I'm going to send you a little video in the Discord. Will you do me a favor and watch
Mhm.
this little video that I send in the Discord? I'm going to send it in the mod chill zone. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
So I was playing this game last night and this came up. All right, I just sent it.
Okay.
It might take a second. Go ahead and play it. And I want to watch your face. So this is the video that plays every time you start a mission.
What? What the fuck did I just see?
Right?
For those who are listening, not watching, So it kind of play. You have like a Doom soundtrack playing in the background. Shows a rat putting on their helmet, their I forget what they call it. It's
Utility belt, they're cocking their
they have to go
shotgun.
to the cocking their shotgun, and then all of a sudden it goes down to their below their belt, and you just see nothing but balls,
Big old rat balls.
just big old rat balls. And then it goes straight into whatever that was. Like I'm assuming it's the beginning of the mission. I'm just like, what?
Do you think YouTube will flag us if we title this episode "Big Old Rat Balls"?
Nah. Are are we considered 17? Like what? Because you had to pick like our age group, right? Like as far as like,
I, I,
are we
whenever I
safe for children?
whenever I put the video in, I say it's not for kids.
Then we should be fine.
Yeah, and have you seen some of the shit that's marked as for kids on YouTube? That's not for kids either.
No.
Holy shit. But no, so this game is like a side-scrolling tower defense. You are a rat. You have like your little rat army. You have three little guys that walk across the map. And the mission, the goal, every mission is to get your rats across into the enemy base to win. And along the way, you have outposts where you can build like turrets. You can build uh, uh, like attack buffs or health buffs for your little rats. You can also call in special kind of rats. There's like one rat that is three little rats that are carrying a wall that is like a defense wall that you can hide behind while you shoot. You can
Okay.
throw a grenade which obliterates the enemy rats that are coming at you. There's another there's another rat type that is like basically a shaman, and it floats and like sends like a spirit at enemies, and it's just nasty. What else? What other ones are there? You can send like dogs, which are just like attack rats. Like they're just the fast ones. They go in. If you swarm the enemy, they get pretty nasty. In between missions, you go to a store and buy stuff from a rat that's like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. And yeah, it's just a fun, stupid little game. It's not the most polished thing, but it's only in early. I think it's in beta right now. I don't know what version of the game it is. Like last night, I sat down and only planned on playing for like an hour after we hopped off, and I ended up playing for 2 hours. It was that fun. I got halfway through the game. I got halfway through the campaign yesterday, and the missions can take a while, depending on what you're doing. It's not the most balanced game, but I'm enjoying my time with it so far. Who would have thought some random game that I didn't think very highly of that could be my last review for Game Chronicle would have rat balls in it?
And I mean, let's be honest. I don't think that's anybody's like last memory. Like, man, I remember the last thing I did was big old rat balls in my face. Ever.
They're just huge rat balls. It's a bit much. Rock paper shotgun. I'm on their Steam page right now. Rock paper shotgun gave a box quote that reads "delicious trash." I'm like, yeah, yeah. You know what? That's kind of accurate. But I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm gonna spend a little more time with it before I start writing my review up. Like I was telling you before I hit record, I've got like 5 or 6 hard drive pieces that I need to write that are kicking my ass. Not kicking my ass. It's just the fact that I have 5 like to go, and I just got one approved. I got 2 approved. So I got one approved where I need to read Josh Gad's book, which I just got from the library and it's behind me. So that one's a whole thing. Normally when it's just hey, sit down and write the piece and you're done, I'm fine. But when I have to do a little extra homework, it takes a little more time. The other one I have to draw a pregnant Marcus Phoenix, so I'm really sitting down. I'm studying art. I'm going back to art school. I'm learning.
And honestly, guys, he's doing a pretty decent job with it. I'll give it to him. He showed me.
The one I showed you is just a mock-up though.
I know, but I'm just saying, like for a mock-up, it's pretty good. Like I can tell you've been putting a little more effort into learning it again.
It's I just hope when I put it out into the world, people will be like, yeah, that's a pregnant Marcus Phoenix being held by his partner Dominic Santiago. I hope people see it and like they know immediately what it is. So we'll see. And then like I said, I'm playing Alan Wake, but we're gonna save that for the end of the episode for our book club chat up to episode 1. Josh, anything else before we get into the news?
I don't think so. I think I think let's get into it.
All right, hey Josh, let me let me do the proper segue. Let me do the proper. Josh, you got some news for us?
I certainly do.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
I'm so busy eating this vitamin C drops because they expire next month, and I have half a bag left, so I'm just chewing on them.
Wait, you're just like these are gonna run out. I need to eat these,
Yeah.
but it's medicine.
So,
Okay, we're moving on. It's news time.
well, it's just vitamin drops. That's not medicine.
Okay. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you.
You're totally.
I
You
thought
want
you
me
were
to go get
taking them
my?
because you were feeling sick or something, but you're like, "No, I'm taking them because they're gonna expire."
They are. They expire next month. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna let this shit expire.
Josh, what do you got first for us?
Yeah, starting at the top, Oblivion Remastered is already one of the best-selling games of 2025. This is a Game Rant article written by John Bonelli. Yeah, so I'm actually quite surprised. I obviously reviewed it. I'm not saying it's not a decent early contender and then it can be knocked out, but I'm shocked how much praise it's getting for a almost 20-year-old game that, mind you, brought in the age of purely cosmetic DLC.
I'll tell you what's surprising. By the way, this is a what is this? A game rant?
Mhm.
It's a game rant from John Bellinelli. The thing that surprises me the most about this is that Microsoft. This is another. Even though this is like the worst kept secret in gaming, um,
Yeah,
this is Microsoft going back to the surprise launch rabbit in the hat that they did with Hi-Fi Rush. What was that 2023?
I
It's
think so, yeah.
been a little bit since Hi-Fi Rush now. But them going back to that, even though like this is something that's tried and true. So I I kind of like Microsoft still doing the surprise drops. And like this article here is like, could be the top seller, or it could be overtaken by Claire Obscur or Doom the Dark Ages, which is out in like a week, by the way.
Yeah, which I mean, honestly, I think 2025 is blowing the past few years out of the water as far as early releases,
Uh,
especially like one-off releases as far as like Claire Obscur or um, what was the one before that?
Split Fiction,
Adam Fall.
Adamfall. This has been like across the board really good year. Like when we look back at 2023, was 2023 Baldur's Gate 3 year?
No, I thought it was last year.
No, last year was damn, we're already forgetting what last year was.
I think you're right then. I think because it was end of 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah, so 2023 was like a solid like indie year, it felt like, with a few things, a few sprinkles of AAA here or there. This kind of feels like everyone is like coming together, everyone is converging at the same time, and we're having a pretty good year. Minus, I don't think we've had as many layoffs. I'm gonna knock on wood, even though we have layoffs reported in the news this week. But like this has been, I think 2025 might, if it keeps going in this direction, it's gonna surpass 2023. I just remember 20 being blown away by 2023.
Yeah.
It's also the most games I ever reviewed in a year, but maybe that's a bias for me just having played more in 2023, but this does feel like it's heading in that direction. And a majority of the games I've played this year so far have been on Game Pass. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think what 4 of the games that are, like, really good this year are on Game Pass as of right now?
Yeah, the ones that people like this, Blueprints, Claire Obscures on their day one,
Adamfall.
Adamfall, Doom's gonna be on their day one,
Mhm.
and
Like,
it's
I think this is the year that Microsoft finally beats PlayStation or Sony.
yeah, but at what costs?
Well, I don't mean in the sense of, like, obviously console sale wise, PlayStation's going to win because they're the only ones who haven't announced a hike in their prices, both for console and for games as of right now. So I think they're gonna win that part. But as far as like all of the games and like where you want to go, Microsoft's gonna win it because as long as you have a Game Pass, which is how much a month?
I think it's still like 15. It's under 15. I think it's like 10.
I don't think it's 10.
It's not 15 though. I know that. If it, I
Either way, 10
if
to 15 bucks.
if it's 15 at this point, I would have been like, oh, it's 15. I should probably cancel that. I didn't realize it went up that
Uh,
far.
well, it depends. Do you have the one that lets you connect only? Are you doing the one that only is PC?
Yeah, I do PC only. I don't have
Okay, I
Xbox.
think you're right. I think that is 10.
The the thing I'm wondering about Game Pass, and then we can hop to the next story. The thing I'm wondering about Game Pass is when does the other shoe drop? And by that I mean Netflix, when everything became streaming on Netflix and Netflix started making its own stuff. It started out really interesting, but over the last 10, 15 years, it's really become slop. It's just lowest common denominator bullshit that they can get on there just so people sign up for it. And then they're like, hey, look at all these new signups we got over here. I do wonder at what point how like Steam, when you go to look at new releases, it's kind of a fucking mess. I
Yeah.
do wonder when Game Pass gets to the point where they're like, they've got Sex with Hitler on there, and it's like, why do you have Sex with Hitler on here? Why do you have this
Well,
bullshit or this bullshit on here?
why do you not have sex with Hitler? First off, I mean, if you're not pounding Hitler, you're with Hitler, okay? No, I wanna fuck him in the ass,
If you're
alright? I want him to know what he fucked up.
if you're not fucking Hitler in the ass, you're part of the problem.
Yes.
I'm gonna get us away from Hitler. In this climate, Josh, I brought him up. It's my fault. What's next?
You did it. Moving forward, speaking of new games, hit RPG Clair Obscur Expedition 33 tops 1 million sales in just 3 days. There's actually been an update since this has come out. They've actually sold 2 million copies.
That's crazy for a turn-based RPG in this year, our Lord 2025.
Yeah, and especially one that is like a love a love letter to classic JRPGs.
Yeah, the coverage this game is getting is crazy. I saw it was an article or it was a post that led to an article about how the developer of the game, so the lead dev, came up with the idea while he was bored at Ubisoft, and the team was like less than 30 people. The person who did the soundtrack was someone he just found online who wanted to do
Mhm.
game soundtracks. Uh,
Literally has a SoundCloud.
I mean, and I don't know what their publishing deal is or who did what or whatever, but this might be the feel good story at the end of the year when you get like this ragtag team together to go on an adventure and slay gods. I'm not talking about the party. I'm talking about the developers, damn it.
No, it's just there's just so much good about like this gives me hope in the industry, seeing as we see all these huge quadruple triple A companies who
Quadru-
are just failing because they they are so geared on making sure that the stockholders are happy.
I mean, that's business in general at this
And
point.
I get that, and I get that, but at the same time, you would think at some point one of the companies would just sit down and go, "We're doing what everybody else is doing and also failing. Maybe we should stop doing that and try to switch things up." And they don't, or it doesn't feel like they're trying. I'm not saying they're not, because obviously it takes a whole company, a whole team of people to dish these products out. And I don't mean to disrespect their work because obviously they spent a lot of time and a lot of hard work into it. But at what point do you shovel out shitware and then finally go, "No, I'm not gonna keep doing this," and stand up for your industry?
Well, and that's when the issue is that these companies aren't aiming to make good games. They're aiming to fill the pockets of the shareholders. And again, that's the issue across the board. But I think the biggest issue when it comes to like AAA at least is scope. Like We don't need a gigantic fucking map. I don't want to do another Far Cry map where I have to go climb and look at all the viewpoint and nobody wants that.
You
And
don't like 30 collectible things you have to do, and each of them is like 30 things long. So literally, you spend more time going to every single part of the map, doing every single collectible or side thing before you actually do the main story.
the games are they're bloated to death. And the between well, this wasn't out yesterday, but we're recording this a day later. The GTA 6 trailer that just came out. Like these publishers and developers are going to learn the wrong thing from GTA 6. We have a whole year to get ready for it. Uh, GTA 6
And
is going
even
to come
then,
out. GTA 6 is going to come out May 26th, 2026, and uh, for the next 2 or 3 years, there's just going to be companies doubling down on the bigger maps, which
Mhm.
is crazy because Vice City might be the smallest map GTA's done in the 3D era. I don't
Yeah,
think it was
I would say
bigger.
so.
I don't think it was bigger than the original Liberty City.
No, I think Liberty City was just slightly bigger.
So, and you got your annoying person in the watching this. It's like the water actually it comes down to a little bigger square footage. I don't count the fucking water, you fucking dweeb. You couldn't swim. It doesn't count. It don't
And let's
count.
be honest, GTA has been the same since they got rid of the if you die in the middle of a mission, you have to start at the very beginning of that mission, or start at the hospital, go and start the mission again.
Josh,
Not this. We're checkpointing.
are you shaming modern gamers for having checkpoints in their GTA games?
Yes. Honestly, I want these modern gamers to go back. I want them to play Vice City, and I want them to do the construction mission where you have to drive the drone helicopter and drop the bombs in certain spots. Do you know how frustrating that mission is?
Why would you make them do that?
They're sitting here going, "Oh, I don't get GTA 6 until 2026." Okay, go play one of these old ones you've never touched before. Do it, and
Well,
then you can come crying.
to get it back on track, congrats to the team behind Claire Obscure. That
Yes.
last article, by the way, is from IGN. Vicky Blake.
Yes,
Josh,
I
what
was
you got?
getting ready to say it.
What you got next?
Moving on, we've got. Oh, it did not do it. Okay, Gears of War is coming to the PlayStation for the first time ever with this remaster. This is the Gamer article written by Rhiannon Bevan.
I
Um,
I threw up when I heard this news. I threw up.
I I didn't because it was only a matter of time. It's been rumored for so long.
Threw up in my mouth and I cried. And no, I really don't care.
No, I think it's good exposure. I think you get another fan or another console into it, and there'll be more people playing it. I think the online will sorely improve. Not that it was terrible to begin with, but I think now that we're embracing the era of crossplay, I think we're gonna see so much more love for the franchise. And I think it's just gonna give it the boost it needed because I'm not saying the stories were bad. I feel like the multiplayer, started to dip right after 3. I think 4 and 5 were just the multiplayer was just not good.
They got way too into their character skins. It was
Yeah.
kind of like, hey, we got that one wrestler playing Marcus, even though he doesn't really do it, but we got him in here. It's like, why?
Didn't was it 4 or was it 5 that had the loot crates?
4 had the loot crates. I remember.
Okay.
Don't
I don't
even
remember 5
remind
as
me.
much as I do 4. 4 I remember vividly. I'm like, "Oh, that was awful."
I remember the animation for 4 just being like it was very pretty, but also like, why am I watching this? Why am
And
I
I and I enjoyed I like I said, I enjoyed the stories. I think continuing on to it, it's decent. I'm not saying it's great. It's decent.
4 was fun. I remember when 4 had a bunch of codes leak and I bought one for $20 and everyone who bought those codes ended up not getting the game.
I
You bought a code too, I
remember
believe.
no, I remember you telling me that they were doing the stream, and if you watched it, you got a chance to get codes. And I remember sitting there with like 5 different devices in Andy's parents' house, just watching it, trying to put all these codes on.
Yeah, it ended up not working
Yeah.
because they were stolen codes, man. They were stolen codes. Anyway, the two things I gather from this, with this coming out in August of this year, E-Day is not coming until 2026. So
Mhm.
look at that. second time Nick's most anticipated game of the year wasn't even coming out that year.
And even then, I would imagine they're probably gonna push it towards either the very beginning of 2026 or the very end
It'll
to
be
avoid.
it'll be holiday 26.
Yeah,
With
that would be my assumption, just to avoid GTA in general.
especially with GTA in May now, yeah, they'll aim for an August or a September with it. Uh,
Honestly, I can almost see them pushing it to early 2027.
no,
I could see that.
this will be their big holiday game. And holiday games are kind of weird for them right now, just because I mean, Game Pass, like who's really buying the physical game? But this will be their big holiday thing. I think this will be Microsoft's push to try and like get back to having that one big holiday game. I don't think they've really had that since Halo Wars 2. Uh,
Which
I
is
don't
crazy to think.
I don't really count Forza on that. Forza has been their holiday game sometimes. I'd have to look back through the release years, but yeah, I don't. Halo Wars 2 was 2017, 2018,
Ye
somewhere in there.
2017, I wanna say.
Yeah, I was living in Chicago at the time. The other thing this tells me is that E-Day is going to be on PS5 day one. This is them getting everybody. This is them
Yep.
getting fans across the board, so that when E-Day comes out, you have a big fucking splash with it.
Here's my one issue that I have with this whole entire thing. Why the fuck do you call it Reloaded?
Eh, it's a terrible name. It's a terrible naming thing, but when has Microsoft ever been good at naming anything? You're probably playing it on your Series edition.
Yeah. I'm baffled by it just because I'm like, okay, we're trying to say that it's a whatever version, or remaster, or whatever. We're talking about Marcus Phoenix, who's reinstated. Who first off, he's in prison. The game starts off, you get released from prison and reinstated into the COG army.
I think reinstated it doesn't flow. It doesn't flow like a reloaded. Just
I'm just like, okay, they can go with like what they can go with something with the Lancer, revved or what? Just reloaded. Reloaded sounds so early, late '90s, or like it sounds like someone from the Matrix. Whoever came up with the titling for the Matrix got hired onto Microsoft and like reloaded.
I think it
Best
works.
one of the Matrixes.
I think it works. It's just simple. Josh, you forget gamers are stupid. You have to keep it as simple as you can for gamers. They're
What was
dumb.
um what was the other game? I don't know, that wasn't them, but I'm thinking of that one that came out like right after 2 or 3. You have like the whip, first person,
Are you talking about Bulletstorm?
Bulletstorm. Thank you. I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry.
Yeah, he
We'll
he
just
lost
pass it.
himself.
I lost myself.
The other thing I saw is that if you already own Gears Ultimate, which is the remake they did back in 2015,
Mhm.
you get this for free. You get a code. You get this for free, which I think my account has Gears
I
Ultimate attached to it.
I
So
think mine did. I think we both bought it because we were like, "Oh, let's play it," and we never finished it. I think we got halfway through it.
no, we beat it. I remember beating Ram. What what I wonder is
Did we?
what I
Okay, maybe
wonder
we
is
did.
because now that I don't own an Xbox and I'm doing it on PC only, I wonder if I'm getting that on their PC Xbox app. It's weird. I'm gonna have to check that out. Josh, what you got next?
Next, we've got an offline mode is finally coming to the Crew 2, and gamers are hoping all Ubisoft titles get the same treatment. This
Fucking
is the Gamer article written by Johnny Flores Jr.
fucking finally, I can play the Crew 2 offline. It's about damn time.
So I don't think it's okay. Let's be honest. There is a handful of people who will still play the Crew 2 offline, which is fine. I think though this is a great precedence for gamers. I'm tired of companies coming back and saying, "Well, you don't actually own this, even though you paid for it." Yeah, we do. We should own it, and we
Josh,
should be able to play it offline.
you don't
It's
technically own it. The offline thing, like, yeah, I think it's shitty. I think these companies should have a plan for when their game goes offline that people can still play it. Like, let them play it against these NPCs. But if the company didn't do the work to code in, if they didn't do it up front to code in the AI to where you can play it that way, like I go back, the one I think about all the time is Evolved. Like I don't think you can play Evolved at all. Don't quote
No,
me
I
on
don't think
that.
you can. No, I
But
don't think you can.
even if you can, no one's playing it with you, rightfully so. But I think about that game often. I remember even when I purchased that game 10 years ago, thinking like, man, I'm gonna buy this game and then it's not gonna be anything once everyone moves on. And that sucks. And I think that's why you're starting to see a little more of a renewed interest in single player. I think that's also why the indie level of games have grown over the last 10 years as well. I mean, Steam, I think you can point at three things that have really grown indie games in the last 10, 15 years. Steam, the Nintendo Switch, and then just, a renewed interest in single player. Because when AAA, last gen early on, when they were giving up single player and thinking about just how are we doing this as a live service? How are we doing this as multiplayer? I think people were kind of turned off by that and were like, I'm gonna go. What's this thing over here? This is Celeste. Okay, I'm gonna go play Celeste. Or oh, what's Stardew Valley? I'm gonna go play Stardew Valley.
Hmm.
And so I think that's what gave the rise to like some of these. Now it feels weird to call them smaller, but smaller indie games, and now those are ballooned up. And so people, you may have not given people their single player games, but fuck, they went and found them somewhere else.
My one beef I think I have, especially now with modern company or modern mindsets in the gaming industry, is it's fine if you're going to turn off your servers. I get it, especially if you're a game that you make a new game, like if you're a Madden or a 2K in general. Yeah, you're going to have to shut those servers down because you want to make room for the next game, or you want to push everything down the pipe. Give the ability for people to turn on their own
Yeah,
servers.
host their servers. Like I
Yeah,
think about what's that game we played during the last Steam Fest? Was that Midnight Murder Club?
Midnight Murder Club.
Like that's a smaller title, and then when their servers go down, that's gonna be that's if you and I want to play Midnight Murder Club, guess who, you're gonna have to host a server, and we're all gonna have to hop in and play on your server or whatever. Uh,
Which is great. I mean, I'd rather have that option, especially if I'm like, for me, a completionist who wants to go through and knock out everything achievement wise, trophy wise. I can't do that for half the games now because they're either no one's playing it or they shut the servers down.
yeah,
Now, if I'm lucky and they have their own build servers, I could just host a game or whatever, turn on host a server. But a lot of times for these newer ones, they don't do that.
yeah, I'll never get my Gears of War seriously from the first game.
Oh yeah, you can,
It'll never happen. I don't think you can play Gears
Nick.
One on
I
the
have
360 anymore.
Yeah, you can,
I don't think you can.
Nicholas. I just did this a couple months ago. Yes, you can.
Oh boy, I don't. But see, I want it legit. I don't want to cheat it like you did, you little cheat.
I didn't cheat. I haven't finished it yet. I have my Series X and I have three Xbox 360s right now.
Why?
Uh, Two were gifted to me. One I bought because it was a slim and I wanted a slim.
The slim black one?
Mhm.
The first gen slim or the second gen slim?
Which one's which? I forget.
The first gen slim has like that. It's got like a glossy look to it, whereas
That one.
the later generations are more mate.
No,
Matte.
it's glassy or
That was-
glossy.
I had that glossy one. It was a good one. Ooh, buddy.
$10. And the guy's like, oh, the disk drive won't open. I was able to manually eject the disc, came with a free copy of Borderlands Game of the Year edition, and it
Ew.
still works.
Ew. Sell
I, I
that.
said
Sell
I
it.
said you do
Ew.
that. I
Ew.
said you do that, but I was like, it works. What?
You press the button and it comes out, and you look at it like ew, and like you would think like it's a roach or something. Like no, it's a copy of Borderlands. Ew.
At least it was Game of the Year edition, so it came with the DLC.
True. True. We got one more story here, Josh. What do you got?
We sure do. Polygon sold to Valnet and hit with mass layoffs. This is a Kotaku article written by Ethan Gotch.
Yeah, this I was sitting there when this I I when was this? Was this Friday? This was
Last
Thursday.
Thursday.
Last Thursday. I was sitting. I was on Blue Sky farting around, and I think some other news had dropped. Giant Bomb was so Giant in the same time. Giant Bomb, which is a popular gaming podcast, is like currently being restructured by the brass at the top, and it's not looking good. And so I posted like, "Oh, this is happening. Giant Bomb is happening. I'm not getting Titanfall 3. This year sucks." And then this news broke almost immediately, and I was like, "Well, shit, I should have waited a minute to post this."
Way to
But
jinx it.
yeah, I jinxed it. It's kind of crazy because Polygon was that one gaming podcast, that one gaming website I would go to for
Mhm.
kind of like the more out there not out there, but the more like they had good board game coverage. They did some pretty good indie game coverage, and now they're just kind of a shell of itself. It's crazy, and you saw all these independent journalists and remaining games journalists, which there's like two of them now, completely. Rally around this and push for people to support uh, indie journalists. And I mean, Valnet do they own Game Rant or are they just Screen Rant? I forget.
I thought they just screen rant.
I'd have to double check, but I mean, you have companies like Valnet and Fandom coming in, and they buy these things and they don't really have a plan for them. They just think buying them is going to make their company worth more than they're already worth, which they do like in that moment, but then they immediately gut that product and it's just shell of itself and it's nothing like what it was.
Here you go. You ready for who their brands? You ready for this?
Well, they were porn guys at one point, but yeah, go ahead and tell me who's under Valnet.
Screen Rant, Movie Web, Collider, CBR, The Things, Game Rant, The Gamer, Polygon, Fextra Life, Open Critic, Dual Shockers, Hardcore Gamer, Hot Cars, Top Speed, Car Buzz, Give Me Sport, Football Fancast, Football League World, The Sportster, How to Geek, XDA, Android Police, Make Use of, Pocket Lint, Some Flying, The Travel, The Richest, and Backyard Boss.
Yeah, and I bet all those are ran like sweatshops. It's people getting paid pennies for their game coverage. Maybe we don't use Game Rant
Or The Gamer.
or the Gamer anymore. Maybe
I
we axe those.
I did not I did not realize they owned all that. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, once you see it, it kind of breaks your brain. You're like, oh, because I know CBR's comic book reader, I think, or something like that, and their coverage is dog shit. It's
Oh
so
yeah. I
bad.
mean they used to be good, I think, but then it just now I think they just do like top 10 list.
And that's what everyone does. I think even like the fact that we got this reporting from Kotaku of all places, who kind of got gutted 2 or 3 times last year, as I'm recalling.
I'm running out of places to pull news from. Are we just gonna start writing our own shit and bringing it to the table?
I'm gonna work you. It's I'm gonna
The
be like,
world is
Josh, you
turning
gotta
me into a sweatshop.
well, so here, let's pledge no more gamer, no more game rant. What's the one that IGN owns now? It's crazy. IGN owns it. Is it a
Oh,
something game news.biz or something like that? He's looking.
I'm looking. I don't see anything yet.
While he's looking at that, our hearts go out to everyone affected by the layoffs. Hope you guys land on your feet.
Eurogamer, GI, VG 24/7, Rock Paper Shotgun, and more.
Yeah, IGN bought a lot last year. Rock Paper Shotgun's still pretty good. IGN. Uh, we can do the independent folks as well. So, and
Oh,
the thing about the independent folks is that when you're googling this news, I mean, you have to go out of your way to find it. So maybe we'll have to go out of our way more now. But go
here
ahead.
we go. GameIndustry.biz,
That's the one.
Eurogamer,
Hmm.
Rock Paper Shotgun, VG 24/7, and then Dicebreaker. But then they also own uh, shares for Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry, and Hookshot,
Yeah,
as well as Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension.
they cast a,
Jesus.
they cast a wide net. IGN, I mean, hate them or love them, they do have some better outlets for news reporting. Kotaku still has some good stuff here and there, though they kind of feel like they're a shell of themselves. We'll still use Kotaku for now, and then Eurogamer, the Game Biz one, uh, Video Game Chronicle is another one. That not the one we write for, the one that's
No, the
close.
other one.
And then yeah, the smaller sites that are here and there, so like the Aftermath. Though those are, I mean, not to be a jerk, those sometimes feel a little more bloggy than they are news. So we'll have to
I'll
pick
have to
our
be
stuff.
careful.
I
Yeah.
like the investigative stuff they do. I do like the think pieces, but yeah, we'll have to maybe hey, we'll just get Yahoo stories on it. We'll pull Yahoo.
You know what? No, we'll just do what everyone else is doing. We don't have anybody to like lose their jobs over it. We'll just hire ChatGPT to write it for us.
No, we're not doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm joking.
Stop it. You're gonna get us. Well, you know what, the algorithm might be like, they mentioned AI. Push them to the top. They go to the top. Put them to the top. Put them to the top.
Honestly, the one time I fuck with the machine. Okay. Just one time. No butt stuff though.
No fucking no fucking with the machine. Only if you're fucking the machine, Josh. You got to buck the system.
So then butt stuff's on the table.
Butt stuff's on the table. Only on the table. I'm gonna get us out of this conversation. Josh, thank you for the news. Do you have a meme for us?
Oh, I certainly do, Nicholas.
Me time.
All right, what do you got?
I have two astronauts staring at Oblivion, with one going, "Wait, Oblivion is better than Skyrim?" The other one holding a gun to the back of his head. Always was.
I've always thought that too. It's a good meme.
I do too. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Skyrim is a strong case of like they improved some quality of life stuff, and they overall brought like a bigger chunk of the fans to it. It's like those who are still loyal to like Elder Scrolls Online and who've bought every single edition of Skyrim since the dawn of time. Yes, like I get it, it's good, but Oblivion is just so much better, especially if you compare it to like Morrowind. Not saying that Morrowind's bad. Like it's like if you played Skyrim and then went back and played Morrowind, you would be like, "What the fuck am I playing?" Because they're completely different games.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the thing that Oblivion has over Morrowind is it has some good quality of life stuff. So like fast
Yep.
travel. I think if you remade Morrowind, you'd have to add some you'd have to add some quality of life stuff, or else people are gonna
You'd
fall
have
off of
to.
that so hard.
Well, it's the same thing for people when they play like New Vegas and then go, "Oh, I'm gonna go back and play the other ones." They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it's a completely different game.
Yeah, the uh Fallout 3 is even kind of weird too in that way compared to, well, I guess New Vegas is just as buggy.
It is, but New Vegas seems to be like the one everybody's like clamors to.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying that like I don't. It's not that I don't get it. It's just I don't know what the reason is really, other than the fact that they have Matthew Perry in it.
hmm I mean, yeah, I don't.
I've never understood it, and it's not for a lack of not like trying to understand it. It's just no one's giving me like a definitive thing because realistically, as far as like gameplay goes, it is exactly Fallout 3. The only difference I can tell you right off the bat, other than the fact that your start is different, is the color of your HUD.
I
New
like.
Vegas is that tan, where Fallout 3 is the typical green.
See, my thing about it's weird because I really like Obsidian, and I really like everything Obsidian's done in the last like 5 6 years. I'm not crazy about New Vegas. I'm not that like, but you know what's cool? You know what's cool is that basically the season 2 of Fallout is going to be New Vegas.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting.
So that's pretty neat. And it sounds so my understanding is the show is either a different timeline or it's canon. It's canon, but it's not canon. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand.
My
Help me.
my guess would be probably different timeline.
And you know what? Fallout, probably the best video game TV show ever.
I still need to watch it. I haven't done it yet.
It's so good. It catches the vibe Like, it gets the vibe of Fallout. It knows that
You
it's
mean
like
they read? You mean a lot of people sat down, actually read the source material, and went, "Oh yeah, we could do that."
they either played it or they watched some Let's Plays, and they're like, "Oh, we got this." As opposed to the Halo people putting their noses up and being like, "No,
No, we don't
no,
need it. We're
no,
not nerds.
no. You know what? I don't care what the fans think." And you know what?
They're silver team. They're not blue team.
You know what? I get it. I get it. I don't like the fans either. They suck. They suck shit. But you know what? You don't have to go on a PR tour and be like, "Well, you know what? You know what? Fuck you." Don't tell the people that you're hoping will turn into the show so it gets renewed. Hey, fuck you.
Can
Fuck
have
you.
you? Speaking of which, and this is just curiosity because I saw an ad for it and I had to stop and go, "Wait, is this really a thing?" Have you watched any of the new season of The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Does Ellie's character actually say, "I'm gonna be a dad"?
She might. So in the game, you find out that Dina is pregnant. And I could see her saying some corny shit like that. Like, it's corny things that girls say when they find out their friend is pregnant. But I don't know at what point in the game where she finds out. I don't know if her and Dana are dating. The timeline
See,
of
and
them
that's
dating and her getting pregnant is really muddy.
so, and that's where I was confused. Like, I'm like, I don't remember like anything like as far as like I'm not obviously they're gonna change up the wording and stuff. Like, I get that.
Mm.
I was just really confused because I just saw the context of the commercial and I caught it last second. And I'm like, did she did she say that? And with the power of editing, it wasn't like clearly like a joke or like over exaggeration. It seemed like she was like genuinely like, I'm gonna be a dad. I'm like, wait, what? I'm confused now.
I haven't seen it. I watched the second episode and I still need to go back and watch the two newer ones. I'm a bad TV watcher. I need to go back and watch. But yeah, anything, Josh, anything you see about that show is going to be people overreacting one way or the other. Just be in the middle and just be like, okay, I understand
I
now.
don't know. I no, I'm not like, oh, they're ruining it. Like, no, I'm glad
Oh, they're ruining it.
they're
No,
ruining it. Like,
no.
to all the people who are like, oh, they brought these lesbians into my video game TV show. You guys, you do know that happens
They
in
were
the
they
second
were they
game.
were gay in the game. They were
Like it
doing
was like very hinted in
the
the first game. Like I don't know what you
they kiss at the dance in the game. The one bigot guy, he's in the game.
they killed
Guys.
my one white guy.
Well,
We've killed several white
we'll
guys at this point.
we'll
Come on.
we'll we'll finish this and get into the Alan Wake talk, but my favorite thing was people who got mad at the Nick Offerman episode from the first season. And they're like, "Oh, they did this whole thing and Joel wasn't even there. And did you know that fellow was gay?" And it's like, "Yeah, the game like Ellie leaves they leave that guy's town with like his nudie magazines and it's all naked men. Like,
Mhm.
I've known this man is gay for 10 years now." Like, come on, you guys. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, come on. No,
They're
they made my
they made it woke.
they made my survivalist character gay. It's like,
Guys, he was
so
always gay.
he's surviving. Go.
I mean, guys,
I think
gays can survive too.
gays can survive too. That might you m- you might have just dethroned big old rat balls with that one.
I mean, it's some of the stupid shit people say. I'm like, guys, what is this, a fucking horror movie? It's like, does the black person have to die first? No. Like, just because it was written and it's always been that way doesn't mean it has to be that way.
I was on Kotaku, and again, we will get to the Alan Wake in a minute.
We will get there.
The Alan Wake is coming. I feel like George R. Martin from those South Park episodes. The pizzas are on the way.
Wiener, 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 wiener.
But no, I was on Kotaku in action earlier. Because I go, like, you know how like people hate watch stuff? I go to that and
Yep.
hate read the bullshit because they're all fucking assholes who are bigots. And I was on there and they're talking about the GTA 6 trailer and they're like, "Oh, a heterosexual couple in the media? What?" It's like, guys, calm the fuck down. Oh my God.
Wait, what?
So the fear from the Kotaku and Action Heads is that GTA 6 was going to be woke with like a girl boss character. And I forget the main lead's name, but the leaks from 2 years ago now, they were like,
Yeah.
she looks like she's a girl boss the way this is looking. Guys, I think woke has gotten GTA 6. And the
And now
trailer,
they're upset because they're heterosexuals?
they're all like, this actually looks a lot better than we thought it was going to. But it's like the game, if you're a normal person like you and me, you watch that trailer and you're like, dude, this game looks great. This looks fucking awesome. I can't wait to play this. I might have to get a PS5 and play it. These guys watch it and they're like, bro, a white guy in the lead? I might have to play this. Dude, oh my God. Oh my, a white guy? Dude, his girlfriend's got a BBL? Bro, I have.
I mean, in their defense, before GTA 5, the last time we had a white protagonist was what, Vice City?
No,
No, he's technically, I mean, he's
Nico was
technically
Eastern European.
Italian.
Nico was Eastern European.
Nick, I'm talking like
Five, Josh, five.
I said before 5. Five
See,
had 2.
See now,
5 had 2.
now you're doing what Kotaku and Action is doing. You're picking. You're like, well, it's been 20 years.
Hey,
if you don't include this thing from 2 years ago, it's been 20 years.
Hey, they want their culture out there too as well. Why can't they have their white? Why can't there be a White History Month?
It was
And to them, I say you're a fucking moron. That is every fucking day. Shut the fuck up.
that was a. And that was an argument you heard all the time in high school. And I remember even in high school being like, you are so fucking stupid. And now you hear it as an adult and you're like, oh, fuck, I fucking hate you so much. Why are you so stupid?
I literally, my brain cannot get around the idea of people somehow surviving the world. Like, you're worried about gay people surviving in a non-fictional or a fictional world. Try to understand white people who make comments like that surviving anywhere at any point.
It's just,
It's baffling.
It's gotten to the point where it's very it's very online. Like people like this used to be like huddled in their fucking little hidey holes, like the GTA protagonist is not like us. But now they get online and they've been embraced to say it online in front of all their friends. Like hell, even there was a tweet. There was a tweet I saw that was someone that this game kind of looks anti-cop. It's like, are you the game is called Grand Theft Auto, dude.
Yep. Next thing you know, they're gonna be like, maybe I can be a hooker in GTA.
I mean, it's like getting mad. Like, man, I don't like The Sims because I'm simming someone else's life. You fucking dense fucker. Let's get to Alan Wake. Can we get to Alan Wake?
We can go down this rabbit hole, or we can go to Alan Wake. I forgot Alan Wake at this point.
I was like, oh no, I forgot about Alan Wake's a little more. Alan Wake's from the time before all this bullshit got so out of hand, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Josh, how many times have you played episode 1 at this point?
In my life, or just as of
for
us
this book
getting into
club?
it? I've only done it once.
Okay, so
I've not gone back yet. I'm trying to go back. So to get one of the trophies or one of the achievements, you have to collect all of the manuscripts on normal difficulty first, and then you can go back and do Nightmare. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the normal one. I still haven't gone back and collected like the 4 or 5 manuscripts I have left.
Okay, I was gonna say, does it let you? Can you just go into a chapter and go to different parts of a chapter to try and find?
So you just go to whichever episode you need, and then you go to the certain part. So like if I picked episode 4, you get the clinic or I forget what they call it exactly, but the therapist place or psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the farm, and then whatever is the last part. I think the dam
of episode 1.
Of episode 4.
I'm sorry, episode 4. I was blanking out. I had my notes up on episode 1. Yes, do we just want to jump right into it? I don't think we need to do like a synopsis up top. I mean, Alan Wake came out in 2010. Again, this was released in the shadow of Red Dead Redemption, so I feel like a lot of people missed it. But since then, it's kind of seen a revitalization, or it's a cult classic at this point, right?
Very much so, and obviously with us all finding out that all of Remedy's games are in the same universe or within the same universe, and um, Control being like the big push they needed as far as like, hey, we make some pretty solid single player experiences.
It's fascinating, like, playing this, and then I've played a little bit of Control, and I've played the hell out of, Quantum
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. That's probably my favorite in the whole series. But it's fascinating seeing just, like, these games grow, and I played a lot of Alan Wake. I played a lot of Max Payne growing up. 3 is, like, the one weird one where it's like, "Well, Rockstar has it now, so this doesn't count."
Yeah.
But it's fun the things playing this right now, and I've just finished episode 3, which we'll talk about next week, but it's weird playing this and seeing all the bits and pieces that went into Quantum Break later on, and then again went on into Control, and seeing how
Hmm.
they've kind of just been like tweaking this or that here or there, and then putting it into the next game and it being just this awesome thing. And you see a lot of the foundation here. Like, yes, like Max Payne was like Max Payne was the start of it all, but this feels like the foundation for everything they've built since then. This feels like, hey, Alan Wake's a really good place to build off of, so we're gonna keep building up from Alan Wake.
I mean, and really, they did such like they experimented so much with Alan Wake, but they did such a great job with it. Like the manuscript, just being able to pick up the manuscript and like read ahead to see what's going to happen is so fucking interesting.
It's yeah, there are points where you get a page and you're like, "Fuck, I'm about to fight someone with a fucking chainsaw." It
Hmm.
it it does feel there are parts that feel like it's stooped into time. It's stooped in its time. So like the 2000s, like 2004 and on, like there was an obsession with having something with a chainsaw.
Yeah,
I think Resident Evil 4 probably brought that to the mainstream, and then everyone else
we could do
doing
that.
everyone doing a horror game was like, we have to have a chainsaw guy.
I mean, it was like that even with like I can't remember when the Evil Within came out, but that was their thing too. It's like, oh, we're gonna have this guy with a chainsaw like chase after you
Yeah, they were
for like a
20
good chunk.
they were 2013 or 2014 if I remember
Well, I
correctly.
know, and that blows my mind to think like, wow, it influenced that far into it. Like
They just kept going.
it's,
They just kept going. So,
but
Alan Wake opens with a dream. You are I think you're searching for your wife in the dream, if I remember correctly. You can't find her. You have a it's almost like a preview for the game because the game gives you all these different weapons. You have your
no, in the dream, he hits a hitchhiker.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. He hits the hitchhiker. I'm getting the dream and some of episode 1 mixed up. He hits a hitchhiker. Hitchhiker disappears. He's being chased by the hitchhiker. You get a flare like it's basically it's a
It's a
tutorial. It's
tutorial.
a tutorial, but it's a really good tutorial because it gives you the hey, hit them with the light. Hey, shoot them once you've hit them with the light. All right, hey, you got a flare gun. This is really good for crowd control. And that's something that's really surprised me playing this. The further I've gotten into it is wow, this is really like this game is really good about crowd control, giving you the flare guns, giving you the
Hmm.
flares. Again, this is stuff that happens later on. Uh, I'll try to keep it in chapter 1. Josh, have you seen all the product placement in this game?
There's too much product placement in this game. I totally forgot about it too. And honestly, so I'm playing the remastered, uh, which came out on
Everything.
PS4, PS5. Did it come out on PC? I thought they just did the port over for it, and that was it. I don't think they did a remaster for it.
Yeah, I think it's a port, but still, the remaster basically came out on everything after a
Yeah.
certain amount of time.
Um, and they still carried it over. I was so surprised they did that.
Yeah, there's a I forget what the car is. Let me see if I can find the video for it. But the car that they ride in early on, I think it's a Toyota,
I think it is a Toyota. And
and
then
you
you
see
have
the screen in the car has the Microsoft Sync in it.
and then there's was it Duracell or was it Rayovac?
Uh, Duracell, yeah, you have the Duracell batteries, or if you'll look at them, you can see Duracell.
But I can't remember I thought didn't the flashlight also have a brand on it?
Oh, I'd have to go back and look. But it's just surprising how much
I mean,
product.
obviously they did it to get some extra cash flow in it, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I mean,
I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, Remedy's. Remedy's still doing that. They had the deal with Epic, and that's why Alan Wake 2 was on the Epic exclusively on the
Yep.
Epic Game Store for a certain amount of time. The lime and the coconut song is still present in current copies of the game.
Yep.
Uh, they they tap it down with like you've got Nightfalls instead of them putting in like a instead of them just doing Twilight Zone. They did their own spin on it. I'm trying to think
Night
if
Springs.
there was anything else in because the diner would have been like where a lot of it is. I think it's just that the ones
I
we've
think it's
mentioned
just
so
that.
far.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else beyond that. Maybe a Coke, because I think maybe one of the brothers is drinking a Coke.
Oh, one of the old guys, like the eye patch guy.
Yeah.
Maybe. There. Hold on, I've got it up right here. Oh no, never mind. That's a syrup. But I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, the product placement. It just kind of, and as we're doing book club throughout the month, let's keep an eye out and see if we see anything else. Because it's just fun. It's fucking hilarious.
It really is. Because I thinking back, I mean, I didn't play Quantum Break as much as you did, so I don't remember if they had any in there. And then Control, I remember maybe a piece or two, but it's been a hot minute since I played that. Even I need to go back and play it.
I don't think Quantum Break had as many. That might have been a result because Microsoft was their publishing partner on that, so they might not have needed to do anything with that one. But next, let me do a run through on that, and I'll get back to you on that. So yeah, chapter 1 starts. You are on after the dream ends. You get to the lighthouse, and the dream ends. You're on the ferry with your wife going into Bright Falls. Uh, by the way, the remastered game, beautiful. It looks amazing.
Except for is it technically an FMV? Like it's not actually the game engine. It's whatever they used as like you know what I mean?
What section are you talking about?
All of it. Like when you're playing the game, obviously you can see what is a cutscene that was made inside the engine, and then you have the cutscenes that like someone actually like developed in some other software.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look. Uh,
So for example, this like the scene where at the very beginning where you see him hit the hitchhiker,
yeah.
that would be like I call it the FMV or the full motion video. And
Oh,
then
the
the
full
game
on.
engine would be when like you're like walking down the steps and then you see the hitchhiker behind you at the edge of your car and then he teleports to like on the stairs.
Yeah, you can just say cutscene. I know what you're talking about now.
Okay, cutscene. The cutscenes for the remaster, they hurt my eyes. I guess it was at 30 frames per second, and they stay at 30 frames per second, and you can see it.
Do they feel jittery to you?
Yes, very. Especially when you get into episode 4. Like that's where I noticed it the most because you see things that are like they should be a little bit faster. Like the helicopter blades, they
Mhm.
should be, going pretty fast, but they are moving so slow. And I'm like, oh my god, this hurts my eyes.
Maybe it's just your 3090 melting. It can't handle this 15-year-old game, Josh.
I'm playing on the PS5.
Maybe it's your 5-year-old PS5 that can't handle this 15-year-old game.
It's just like you couldn't just boost up the frames.
No frames for you.
Anyway, going back to chapter 1. So
You
yes, you go through the dream, you wake up, you're on the ferry with your wife. You're going to Bright Falls, and they're getting ready to have Deer Fest.
They're getting ready to have
And
Deer
you're
Fest. I do love that. I think Deer Fest is like a central thing in both games. But I love that on the ferry you can run into like the radio host, and he's like, "Oh, Alan Wake, come on down for an interview. Come on, man, come on." Alan's Wake.
yeah, come on.
Alan's kind of an asshole.
Oh, very much so.
He's like,
You kind of see it, but you don't really see it until like the last episode.
he's kind of a dickhead.
He's an asshole.
He kind of deserves everything that's happening to him.
Yeah.
Then you get to there's another person on the ferry with you along with Alice, and it's the eventual kidnapper. It's the kidnapper.
Yes, it is the kidnapper.
He's on the ferry. But no, this ferry scene does look good. You can see the mountains. You pass under the bridge with the sign that says "Welcome to Bright Falls." It's a nice little sleepy mountain town. And as someone who's lived in a sleepy mountain town, it passes the mountain town vibe. You get into town. You need to go pick up the keys from Stucky, which, by the way, I've always loved that man's name. I will never not say Stucky. the way he does when he gets taken by the darkness. You go into this little diner, and of course the waitress behind the counter is obsessed with you, and Alan again is a schmuck to her. He's like, fuck you. I'm just here chilling. I'm trying to take in the town." He goes back to meet Stucky in the bathroom to get the keys. Stucky's in the bathroom throwing up or pooping or something. And this scary old lady's like, "Here are the keys to the Cauldron Lake cabin, blah, 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 blah." And the thing I love, and I remember doing this the first time, the thing I love is that, like, because that you see her, you meet with her in this little back corner by the bathroom. And if you'll walk out and then walk back into the corner, she's disappeared and there's no way out from that corner.
Oh, see, I never did that. I didn't notice that.
And it's spooky. And Alan will even mention it. He's like, "Oh, I didn't see her leave. Weird." And there is a like the game has like a little old lady standing outside of that hall being like, "Hey, careful in the dark. It's scary in there." So she's
You'll
like,
hurt yourself.
"Don't hurt yourself. It's spooky." So you get the key, you leave, and as you're leaving, Stucky runs out like he just shit his pants, like, "Mr. Wake, the key, Mr. Wake, the key, you need the key."
Never even wiped his ass.
Never even wiped his ass. He's going out there with streaks in his drawers. This dude done shit his drawers. You
Now,
get
hold on. Before we go any further, though, we have to let people know the reason you're in this town, or the supposed reason Alan's in this town, is so that him and his wife can have like a little nice vacation because he's had writer's block for, at this point, it's like what, 2 years?
It's been a while, and the thing that, like, I completely forgot about. So you get by the way, you get to the house, you get into the house, and, the lights are off, you gotta get the power back on. Your wife is afraid of the dark, which is, something I forgot about as well. I forget that's where a lot of that's stemming from. A lot of, like, the horror of the game is from her fear. And then so you get to the house and your wife's like, "I got a present for you." And she gets him a fucking typewriter. A man suffering from writer's block and he's given a typewriter. There's nothing worse you can do to a person than give them a gift that they have no use for in that moment, especially when it's something that's like when you have writer's block, there's like an anxiety that comes with it because you feel like a failure. Even if you jot down like 5 words, you're like, "Oh, these five." You could say like the dog is brown. You're like, "Oh, this fucking sucks shit. I can't fucking do it." And so for Alice to do that, it's kind of a dick move, especially when you sell this as a vacation to get away from everything and to like
Mhm.
recharge and reboot your batteries. Because when you reboot, funny batteries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
batteries.
see what you did there.
But when you're rebooting your batteries, you're not putting that energy into. You're not rebooting it by doing the thing. You're rebooting it by detaching from the thing. That at least
Yeah.
that's my experience. And so to get to the cabin and then to have that typewriter just there in your face. It's crazy. And this game also does the very late 2000s thing of like a character gets in their underwear for no reason.
Yes. I totally, that's the part I was like, I forgot that happened. Like,
I
I remember her,
forgot
what
you took
happens
off
to
your
her. To
pants.
those who are wondering, they get into a fight. Alan leaves the house. He basically goes like to the end of the bridge that leads to this little island the house is on, and he hears her screaming.
Yeah, so the she's screaming because the lights go out. She's afraid of the dark.
Yes.
Because when you get to the
So
house, you have to when you get to the house, you have to boot up the generator near the house, and you go out. Alan like walks to the end of the dock, hears her screaming because the lights have gone out, comes back. She's been dragged into the lake. Alan falls into the lake with her, wakes up a whole week later in his car that's crashed outside of town,
with
and
no recollection of what happened, other
no
than the fact that
recollection.
he jumped into the water.
Right, and so then things look shady as fuck because when you are a man and you are out of town and your wife has disappeared, guess who is suspect number one?
But even then, they actually don't really suspect that he did anything when you play the, like, you would think, like, yeah, you would definitely, like, any other time you would question it, but the whole time they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, Mr. Wake." They never go after him for that. It's, we'll talk about it in the next episodes, but it's for other reasons. It's not even for the fact that Alice is missing.
I think he plays it smart, even though there's some shit where I'm like, you did that wrong. I think he plays it really smart because, like, whenever I come home and my wife has the door unlocked and it's the middle of the night, I'm like, "Are you trying to get stabbed and get me accused of murder?" Because if you get stabbed and die, guess who's suspect number one? Even if I'm 10 states over, they're gonna say it was me.
Well, yeah, but that's why you buy cameras. You buy cameras so that you can prove that you didn't physically do it. They have to, like, actually prove that you financially didn't
I
do it.
I don't wanna be watched. I don't wanna be constantly
I don't
watching
want
or
to be
be
either, but if
watched.
I prove that I didn't stab her, guess what? I mean, they're not gonna bother me with physical stuff. They're gonna try and follow the trail, which by then, go right ahead. I can barely afford my shit as it is. Why do you think you think I can afford them to kill my wife? No, go ahead.
Guys, I can't hire a hitman. But you know what?
On my salary?
If you know a cheap one, I do need to kill somebody. Not my wife, though. So
Um, yeah.
so then the rest of the episode becomes Alan trying to get to the gas station. He's stalked by Stucky the entire time. Uh, this is where the game I forgot how creepy the game is when you're in the woods and you're just going to the next area. Because you expect like, oh, every time I'm approached by an enemy, they're gonna be in front of me. But every once in a while, the camera cuts behind you and it shows them right
Mhm.
behind you, and you're like, oh, fuck.
And early in the game, it's not as bad because it's only like 1 or 2 of them. It's when you get further into it where it's like, "Hey, now there's like 7 of us, and 2 of them are guys that you're gonna take a whole entire, um" I don't know what you call the revolver's chamber, but it takes there's a whole 6 loader to drop 1.
Yeah, the big boys,
Yes.
the fucking big boys.
And
I
they hit like a truck.
and so yeah, you alluded to it earlier, but you start to find manuscripts of a book you don't remember writing, and yeah, you read them, and it kind of flashes to things in the future. And I like and hate that this game has pages that are only available in nightmare mode because it forces you to replay the game if you want them all. But yeah, so you'll get a page and it'll say something. It's like, well, fuck, I'm getting ready. That's getting ready to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next thing
Or
that
in some
happens here.
cases, it like skips like a couple hours ahead of it, and you're just like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
See, I like when it does that because it'll get into
No, I
some of
do
the side
too.
characters. Like I think there's that first episode. There's like a few about Rose and Barry.
Yep.
Like Barry gets into
Well,
town, or Rose is like,
it's the 2nd episode I thought that it does it.
I think no, I do think the very last page of episode 1 mentions Barry, because he's
Okay, you
at
might be
the end
right.
of episode 1 is when he's getting into town. So then episode 2 starts, and that's when you see Barry. So at the end of
Okay,
episode
you're
1
right.
is hinting at him getting there. But I do like, and I think the manuscripts hinting at what is to come in the there's this fascination about I have this fascination with authors as a writer as a fellow writer myself, I'm constantly I'm sorry, I have the video up playing and she's in her underwear. Alan comes up and she's just sitting there in her underwear. Uh no, there's this thing whenever I'm writing, like you're always worried that you're gonna take something from your life when you're writing something on the fictional side and overstep your boundaries. Like strip the real actual human from real life and just like kind of cannibalize them into like this thing in a story. And I think that's again, I haven't beaten the game in 15 plus years, but I think that's something that this game is dabbling in is, just kind of how detached an author can be from reality, and how they have no problem borrowing from reality when they write stuff into a story. But when it comes to actually being a part of their own reality, they don't really participate in it. And I think that's something that you see in Alan, like, being dismissive of Rose, being just an asshole to the sheriff later on. I think the only person he's actually nice, he's even like a dick to his wife, even though like I think there's he's kind of got a point about like the typewriter being just a big asshole gift. But the one person that he seems to like not really give any shit is Barry. And
I mean,
Barry
he kinda is, like, slightly annoyed at first, but towards, like as you progress further into it, he starts to be a little, like, more, "Hey, man, be careful," and, like, before he was just like, "No, fuck you, I don't care." Like, if you compare it to, like, what's his name, the, psychiatrist later on, like, he's just straight up an asshole to this guy. I mean, like, I won't get into spoilers, but he does shit where it's just like, "Dude, you're not a fucking asshole." But then you go look at Barry, and he's just like, "Barry, be careful, stay in the light or don't do anything stupid."
One, I think I think the reason is that Barry is a bridge between reality and fiction for him. Barry is the person that is like, oh, you wrote a story about this, and it's about this stupid little hick in this stupid little hick town. Oh, this is gonna sell buku books, Mister Wake. I got you. And and I don't want to jump ahead, but there's a character that comes in to play later on, Nightingale, who is you could say that Wake may have borrowed from Nightingale for a character from his previous books. And yeah, so it's fascinating watching an author strip the humanity out of somebody for fiction. Josh, do you have anything else before we wrap up this first book club?
We probably should just go ahead and finish the what happens in the chapter. So he gets to the gas station after he fights his way through Stucky and all the other taken or the dark presence. Um, and when the sheriff gets there, he's trying to tell her what's going on, and she's like, "Well, wait, what do you mean? The cabin at the lake? There is no cabin there." And he goes, "Yes, there is." And she takes him there, and guess what? There is no cabin. There is no island. It all collapsed at the earth. It was the earthquake or the volcanic eruption in the
Was it the Mount
70s.
St. Helen eruption or whatever it was?
Yeah,
And I do have and so yeah, she's like it's not there. And then I forgot that it ends like an episode of TV where they have the credits roll
living on a
and the song
cliffhanger.
play.
Yeah,
And the by the way, the similarities of the first episode to Twin Peaks don't like I'm very aware of them. I've not seen Twin Peaks all the way through. I've maybe seen an episode or two. But just know that the similarities between Alan Wake and Twin Peaks has not escaped me. They're there. I do think this is more closely uh, remnant of like Stephen King's works, but we'll see. We'll see where else the similarities stick out as we move forward. Uh, Josh, anything to wrap up?
uh, I think it's a good first episode or first good chapter, however you want to look at it. A little slow, but I think it definitely picks up after chapter one or episode one. Definitely picks up from there and it gets better.
Yeah, having played episode 2 recently, it does really start to take off. And I forgot you drive, by the way. I forgot you drive.
I know that part, like it's so left field that you go like, wait, you drive, and the fact that they they make you use the car battery, and it's just like it's bonkers.
It's a good game. I'm glad we picked
It's a
this
great
game.
game.
I'm
No,
glad
it's
we picked
I'm
this. A
glad we
good.
did too.
You know what? We didn't pick it. The fans picked it for us. Those bastards. But we'll wrap it up there. We will circle back next week. We're going to talk episode 2 and episode 3. Josh, there's 6 episodes. 6 episodes in the proper release, right? The original release.
Technically, yes.
So there's 6 episodes and there's 2 DLC. We're gonna do our best and just get through the 6. If we have time, we'll do the 2 DLC.
By the time we do our next recording, I'll probably have done all of it
All
at
right,
this point.
all right. I've got to catch up to you then, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, this was a good chat. I'm looking forward to our chat next week. Let's plug some shit and get out of here. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. Guys, you can find me on bluesky@nickkaufman.com. That is also my website where I have all my writing and stuff. You can also find me on Twitch and YouTube at NickFatKnight. I am a Wordle streamer. I've been streaming Wordle pretty regularly now. I at least get in 3 Wordle streams a week. Nick, what's a Wordle stream? I get on, I solve the Wordle, I get off. It's beautiful. I love doing it. Come watch. I'm trying to land a time where I do it every day. It's a little tricky as a dad, but once I've found the time that is perfect for every day, I'm going to nail that down and stick to it. You can also find my work on hard drive. I've got pieces going up all the time, so check out over there. If you type in hard drive Nick Kaufman, it should pop up. All my pieces will be there. Also got reviews over on Game Chronicle while it's still up. The site has 1 more month, so go pay your respects before it goes. My review of Rat Wars should be up, if not this week, next week. So go check that out. I think that's all I got. Josh, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere at I'm Josh Saying. I've got my 2 latest reviews for Oblivion Remastered and Kyborg over on Game Chronicles. Go and give those a good read. Um, and you can also find us on our website. Nick, where's that at?
Our website is smashinggametime.com. That's where this podcast lives. We've also got words over there. I've started a not like a full-on review, but kind of like a small little review for humanity. So I'm going to be working on that. It gives me something to do on the website. I haven't felt the words flowing from my fingers on that site for a while, so it's nice to be working on something. The other thing I have a cousin who started a newsletter over on Substack called Hollywood Times. The S is a dollar sign. That's Bush Bill. Go check out Bush Bill over there. It's some good Hollywood satire over there on Substack. So again, on Substack, that is Hollywood Times, where the S is a dollar sign. So go check that out. Thank you as always to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song Hunt 'Em Down. We have a link to his SoundCloud in the show notes. I should double check that still works, by the way. Let me double check that still works. I haven't heard from Al in a while, so let me double check. Al is still a good person. I think he's just like most people. When Twitter got a little crazy, he got offline. So if the link is still working, go check it out. If it's not, I'm working on getting a new link for it. Yeah, that's it, everybody. Go find the podcast wherever you can. Be nice to everybody that deserves to be nice to. Don't be nice to the assholes, the trolls.
Yeah, fuck them.
The Kotaku in action folks. They do not deserve your niceness. Kick their teeth in. Go ahead and do that. Is YouTube gonna be like, you are inciting violence against bad people? We are kicking you off. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
fuck it.
Fuck you, YouTube. The algorithm's like, man, they told us to fuck off. Push them down. Push them down.
Well, hold on. They talked AI that boosted them up, and then they incited violence. We're gonna just put them right back where they were at. It's fine.
They incited violence, and then the one with the black glasses said something about the gays can survive too.
Shut it down.
Put it that YouTube's like, hell no, get this out of here. Fuck that.
Bottom
Everybody,
of the barrel.
everybody, this has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.
Oh damn! I couldn't even see that.